I realize I've been telling you guys that since Black Friday that I've been doing tier-based sales every weekend based on the video from Thrift Boss. I'm going to show you guys how I run my tier sales. Oh, yep, it's time I got to bribe you guys for subscriptions and show you if we hit 2,000 subscribers, the next gift. And it's not the last gift, it's just the next one I'm going to reveal to you. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Paul. If you're new here, I started reselling on eBay in May of last year to supplement my income while I go back to college after I lost my job. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers this week. Last week, you guys really came through. We got more subscribers. We are currently 19 subscribers away from hitting the 2,000 subscriber goal. And of course, for the 2,000 subscriber episode, I'm going to be doing a giveaway special. Last week, I showed you the first prize I'm going to be giving away, which was a 4x6 thermal label printer. This week, I will also give you a sneak peek later on in this video of another prize I'll be giving away on the 2000th episode. So if you are new here and you enjoy the content, please press the subscribe button. And if you hit the like button, it helps me out in the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for all the support this week. I truly do appreciate it. And for everybody who's been with me since the beginning, thank you so much. As you guys might notice, I'm looking very fluorescent right now and well padded and well covered. That's because we're currently getting a pretty decent, not the biggest ever, but a decent snowstorm right now. We got 4 inches between like 6 o'clock this morning and now. So it should be wrapping up here by me recording this. So as soon as this is done, I'm going to get out and I'm going to go and I'm going to start plowing and shoveling and getting everything cleared out. Because when you live in the middle of the woods in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and you're dependent on the U.S. Postal Service to show up at your house to pick up packages, you want to make sure the roadway is clear for them to get there safely. So as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plow snow out, and then I will edit the video. So this video is probably coming out later. For that, I apologize. This week has been fantastic as far as sales go. Started the new semester for college. I'll talk about that a little bit. But the big thing I want to do this week is I realize I've been telling you guys that since Black Friday that I've been doing tier-based sales every weekend based on the video from Thrift Boss. And I had the idea this week, now that I have enough data to show it from my store on how this process has worked out, I'm going to show you guys how I run my tier sales. And Thrift Boss just put out an updated video of his tier sales yesterday. So I strongly recommend go check his out, and I'll explain how mine is similar but different to his. Because as I told you guys, when it comes to eBay, YouTube, watch everybody, take the good, leave the bad. Not saying everything's bad, but like make things your own. Figure out what works for your store. And I'm going to show you how I took Thrift Boss's tier-based sales and I tweaked it for me and what works in my store. And I'm going to show you what's been working for me this week. That's going to be the big part of it once we get through the top 10. And I'm going to show you how I do it. And I think this week when I actually set up my tier sales, I'll make a separate video of walking you through exactly how I do my tier sales. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the numbers. This week we had a $709 gross sales week, which was a $371 net sales. The average gross per sale was $26.25. The average net per sale was $12.80. This was good enough for a 52% net profit margin and an average net profit margin per sale of 49%. This week, the top 3 in sources by net return are a St. Vinny's from Green Bay, a Goodwill from an Upper Peninsula town, and Sunglasses is holding its spot at number 3. Spent $14.25 on new inventory. Actually spent more than that, but I got a couple of new items listed this week. Cost of goods sold was $65.01. Marketplace fees were $89.03. And I gave shipping services $183 for everything this week. I continue to meet my goal of 12 listings a day. And this week we had a sales of 27 sales, which is above average for me, which is really good for the week. But as you can see, the actual number of sales when the sales came in, my tier-based sale ends on Monday morning. And lately I've been starting it on Wednesday night or Thursday afternoon. I believe this week I started it like at Wednesday, like midnight on Thursday going in. So as you can see, I think it's official that to say that the tier-based sales do show an increase in sales throughout the week for me. Average time to list something in my store this week was 24 days. Average time to sell something in my store this week was 3 months. That tier-based sales, I specifically design it where older items have a bigger discount, and we're seeing a lot more of them move out of the old inventory when we put them on these weekend tier sales. We had a return of investment of 561% and an average return on investment per sale of 617%. And the number 10 sale of the week are these Levi's 514 straight fit jeans. Now, one thing about these real quick, they were tagged as 3630, but when I did my measurements, they actually showed 3426. So how I do this for my title is I put in there the actual tag size, and then parentheses I put what their actual size was based on the measurements, and then I list all of that in the description below. And as you can see, I tagged read onto this one to make sure people understood. Make sure you read the description so I can explain that my measurements did not line up to what the jeans actually said. All right, I picked these jeans up for $2.89 out of St. Vincent's in the Upper Peninsula. They sold on eBay for $27.95. That's $15 for the jeans, $12.95 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $9.50. That provided me a net return of $12.05, which is a 417% return on investment and a 43% net profit margin. Number 8 sale of the week. We're getting to the season of one of my favorite things to sell are these Under Armour shirts. I sold an Under Armour Heat Gear men's golf polo, size medium. I picked this up at a St. Vincent's in Green Bay for $3.80. It sold on eBay for $24.50, which was $18 for the polo and $6.50 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $4.47. That provided me a net return of $12.88, which was a 339% return on investment and a 53% net profit margin. As we're coming into the spring, we're going to start seeing a lot more of these Under Armour polos sell. They sold well for me last spring and summer, and I'm looking forward because I've been stockpiling them over the winter, so I'm ready for this season to start. Number 8 sale of the week is this polo Ralph Lauren shirt, pink Oxford button down with a flesh-colored pony. I picked this shirt up for $3.74 at a Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $26.34. That's $17.49 for the shirt, $8.85 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $5.93. That provided me a net return of $13.23, which was a 354% return on investment and a 50% net profit margin. Number 7 sale of the week is this Tommy Bahama's men's extra large burgundy Supima cotton golf shirt. I picked this up for $2.89 at a Salvation Army. It sold on eBay for $26.20, $17 for the shirt, $9.20 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $6.23. That provided me a net return of $13.53, which was a 468% return on investment and a 52% net profit margin. Number 6 sale of the week is this Sony Dream Machine CD AM FM radio. I picked this up for $4.06 at a Salvation Army in Green Bay. It sold on eBay for $32.99. That was $17.49 for the CD player, $15.50 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $10.04. That provided me a net return of $14.82, which was a 365% return on investment and a 45% net profit margin. Number 5 sale of the week is this Sanyo VWM 370 VCR with power cord and coax cable. I picked this up for $4.48 at a Goodwill in Green Bay. It sold on eBay for $44.73, which was $29.73 for the VCR and $15 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $16.06. For all those who think I always make money off shipping, here's a prime example where I don't. I did a $15 flat rate shipping. This one went to, I believe, Texas or California, one of the two, and it ended up costing me more than the $15, so I did lose money on this shipping. But it was good enough to get me a net return of $19.95, which was a 445% return on investment and a 45% net profit margin. Number 4 sale of the week is this Mountain Hardwear Vapor Dry Men's Large Packable Raincoat. I picked this up for $2.89 at a Goodwill. It sold on eBay for $34.25. That was $27 even for the jacket, $7.25 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item is $5.09, which provided me a net return of $21.37, which was a 739% return on investment and a 62% net profit margin. Number 3 sale of the week is this Radio Shack 40-watt PA amplifier. I picked this amplifier up from a Salvation Army for $4.48, got it home, plugged it in, tested it up, made sure it worked, took a video of it working, which always helps it sell faster, and it sold on eBay for $57.48. That's $42.48 for the amplifier, $15 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $10.60. Which provided me a net return of $35.83, which was good enough for an 800% return on investment, which was a 62% net profit margin. Number 2 sale of the week is this Toshiba SDV296-K-TU DVD VCR combo, no remote, clean tested work. See video. Picked this up for $4.25 at a Goodwill. In the Upper Peninsula, it sold on eBay for $65.98. That was $50.98 for the DVD VCR player and $15 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this was another loss of $15.36, which provided me a net return of $40.63, which was a 956% return on investment and a 62% net profit margin. And the number 1 sale of the week is this Sony CDP C500 CD player 5 carousel changer. No remote, tested work, see video. I picked this up for $2.59 at a Goodwill in Wisconsin. It sold on eBay for $84.93. That was $59.98 for the CD player, $25 for the shipping. Actual cost to ship this item was $18.73, which provided me a net return of $56.38, which was a 2,177% return on investment and a net profit margin of 66%. All right, and that concludes our top 10 sales of the week. And like I said, like I discussed at the beginning, one thing I want to show you is what I've learned since Black Friday. So for Black Friday, for those who don't know, I ran a very big sale, but I did it tier-based. I didn't just put everything in my store on sale for one singular percentage off. I literally went through and diagnosed everything and put it on for a different percentage based on what it was. I have evolved that since, and I started doing that on the weekends based on a video I saw from Thrift Boss from a couple months ago, where he explained how he only has like 250 items in his store every week, and he sells a majority of them in a week by doing the tier-based sale and then not sending offers out on the weekend, waking up Monday morning, and then what didn't sell, he just blankets out. He has like 96 offers to sell, and he makes a lot of sales that way. So I wanted to try this process. I took the idea and I tweaked it a little bit. So first off, I do my sale. I run my sales. It's either Thursday through Monday morning, or the last couple weeks I've been experimenting with doing it on Wednesday, starting it on Wednesday night and running it through Monday morning. But I always end them on Monday morning, because whenever a customer looks at your item when it's on sale, if it's ending in a couple days, it'll say sale ending soon on the listing, which gives that FOMO mentality. And I think that's part of it. So I just wanted to show you real quick how my tier-based sales are structured. So if you go here on your eBay Seller Hub and you go to marketing and you go to discounts, this brings up your discount page. And as you can see, the pink lines are sales you ran for the last 90 days. And as you can see, every weekend I have had quite a few sales from the different tier-based sales that I've done, dating back. As you can see, this is where Black Friday hits, and that's where anytime I did run a sale started going up, because it was these weekend sales that I ran. Now, the way I do this is I personally am very diligent about every listing I make. I put it in its correct store category. For those who don't know, when you have a store subscription, you can create what's called store categories. So hypothetically, if I have a electronics section, and inside that electronics section, I have it broken up between 5 different subsections. I also have a section called clothes, and I have that broken up into 5 different sections, like shirts, pants, accessories, which include shoes and that. So I have categories and subcategories. I'm very diligent when I'm writing the listings to make sure I always set the correct store category for every single one. One thing I learned recently, a couple weeks back, is that you can create like store categories that aren't seen on your store. Like you can have a hidden store category. So what I do is whenever an item reaches 90 days, and I do this the first of every month. So every item that's 90 days or older from the month previous, I go in and their custom SKU, I put the month that it was listed. So I know when I look at the SKU, okay, it's got a month in it, this is over 90 days. Well, a couple of weeks ago, once I found out about the hidden store categories, I created a store category called 90 plus days. And I went through and every custom SKU that I had a month in, the custom SKU, I made its secondary store category 90 plus days. So if it was a shirt, hypothetically, it's going to be its primary store category is clothing, shirt. Its secondary store category is 90 plus days. What that allows me to do is go here into the marketing tab and I can create sales based on store categories. And this is how I'm thinking about it, because I think Thrift Boss does items individually based on the date listed. Like if it's 3 to 7 days, it's 10%. 7 to 14 days, 20% off. Like he's trying to get quick sales and he's trying to move product quickly. I'm not so much worried about that. I'm more of a big store, a lot of sales go out, but I wanted to implement this tool in. So what I do is remotes and sunglasses are always 20% off every single week. So if you ever want to buy sunglasses from me, here's a spoiler. Wait for the weekend because you can get them for 20% off every single time. And then whatever is in season is going to get the least percentage off. So right now, being as it's winter, jackets are selling really well for me. Jackets in store categories fall under clothing and accessories. So what I do, even if I have jackets that are older than 90 days, I'm going to create a 10% discount for store accessories, which will cover jackets first. That will be the first one I do. So going here, I have one that's called Coach Jackets, Sweaters, and Pants, and I have that for 12% off. I start the month off at 10%. Depending on how the weekend sales go that week, the next week I'll up it by 2, or I'll keep it the same if the sales were steady the week previous. So that's usually the first one I build, is whatever the seasonal stuff is. Remotes and sunglasses, I usually do build that sale right away to where it's 20% off. Next up, I build the 90 plus days, one. So any coats, whatever seasonal I put on sale first, that's on sale. And if I create another sale that overlaps with it, whatever sale was built first for that item is the one it sticks to. So then I built a sale for 90 plus days, and I say 30% off all items 90 plus days. And then once I have all the 90 plus day category that are listed in the secondary, once those are on sale, then I go through and I put everything else in my store on sale for 15% off. I just do a blanket 15% off on everything, except for like really, really big ticket items. For big ticket items, I do create a separate tier for that sale, and it'll always hover between 5 and 10% in there. So anything that, because the more an item costs, the more percentage is going to matter for that item, obviously. 1% of a $300 item is different than 1% of a $10 item. So those are the categories I'm currently using. These will change with the seasons. As we get into springtime, golf polos, baseball gloves are going to be a bigger seller. Those are going to come down from that everything else or that 90 plus, and they're going to be a seasonal seller. They're going to have their own seasonal category at a lower markdown, if that makes sense. I hope showing this to you gives you inspiration for maybe trying it out. You do have to have an eBay store subscription in order to use these tools. But if you're at the point in your game where you're ready to step up to do something like this, you probably should have a store subscription, even if it's just the basic one to get you these tools. But I pay for the $60 a month subscription because I'm doing a big, heavy inventory store, so I need it. to where it's cost effective for me to do it so I can list as many things as I want right now. But that's how I run the tier-based sales. I've been showing it being effective the last couple weeks. It has definitely increased my 90-day totals on everything. Here, currently, on November, right the week before Black Friday, my 90-day average gross sales was, and gross means nothing, so take this with a grain of salt, was $6,000 on average in that area. It was hovering around the $6,000 mark on average. Right now, it is hovering between $7,500 and $8,000 in gross sales every 90 days. That natural bump increases the net profit. My net profit's up as well because I'm selling things. They're not sitting around. These weekend sales are getting stuff to move. And that's what we're here to do, is we're here to move merchandise. We're here to flip that, turn the money around, buy something new to make a bigger profit in the future. My average orders for 90 days in November was hovering around 225 to 230. My average now today is sitting at 313, and it's been hovering between 310 and 320. So almost 100 orders more for a 90-day period based on just simply running these sales since Black Friday. I am a fan of this model. I like it. I'm definitely seeing an increase in it. I am refining it as I go along, and whenever I do refine anything to it, I'll be sure to update you. But I think if this is something you're interested in and you've been thinking about doing it, go ahead and give it a shot. The one thing I will say is when building your tiers, whatever discount you launch first, like say you have a way to do this, no matter how you do it. If you want to do a discount and select items individually, or pick store categories, or pick date time frames for your tier, whichever one you do first is where that listing is going to lie. So hypothetically, what does that mean, Paul? You have a pair of shoes that are 90 days old, that you've had listed for 90 days or older. In my situation, I do it based on store category, but I have a store category for 90 days old. So the shoes primary category is going to be shoes. Their secondary category is 90 plus days. If I build the shoe discount first, whatever percentage is attached to that shoe discount is what's going to be, the shoes are going to be on sale for. If I build a 90 plus day where it's double the percentage off, the shoes are still going to be for the shoes off. But if you don't have those two sales end at the same time, say you have the shoes end at Monday morning at 1 a.m. and you have the 90 plus days end at 5 a.m. on Monday morning, for that brief window of time when the sale ends here, those shoes are going to get transferred over to your big 90 plus day sale off. That's just a hypothetical. So if you ever set up a sale where you're using categories, you're not doing individual item selection, you're doing categories, or you're doing date time frame, just know that whatever sale the item goes into first is the one that it's going to hold, unless that sale goes off and picks up by another one. I know that's really hard to explain, but once you get in there and start playing with the tools, you'll understand it. And again, if you're new to it, you're going to make a mistake at some point. I, throughout this process, made two mistakes where I put stuff like new merchandise on sale for more than 50% off. And I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? Because once you start a sale, you commit to it. You can't stop it. What you can do, though, is you can end it after 24 hours. So you can't delete a sale until it's ran for 24 hours. But what you can do in the meantime is go in and remove all but one item from the sale. So I set up an accidental sale where I made everything 50% off. I had to go through and pull everything except for one item. So I had to pick one item in my inventory to be the sacrificial item, to where somebody, if they caught it in that 24-hour period, was going to be lucky to get it for 50% off. And it did sell in that time. I think it was a DVD that I sold for 50% off. And yeah, so don't be scared of the sales. If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. There are ways to fix it. But if you start implementing sales, these weekend-based sales specifically, and you do tier, I don't care how you tier it out. If you want to do one price, I still think just running a sale on weekends is helpful, because I think what it's doing, and I have no clue about the eBay algorithm. Nobody knows what the eBay algorithm works. But I think just like eBay likes it when you list every single day, like the algorithm likes it when you're consistently listing. I think they like to see when you're doing stuff like this, you're putting stuff on discount. Granted, I also think there's that piece of you're just making an item cheaper. People see a cheaper item and they're picking up, but that's not always the case. I've had items that have had no views on them for months and months and months, and put them on sale and they sell. It's really interesting how it works. And I like having that middle of the week period, that Monday through Wednesday, where you can see the drop off in sales. But what does sell in that period is selling for full price. So, and what's weird about what I've noticed is during the off sale 3 days of the week is when my big ticket item stuff is selling. Like, people are paying full price for the over $100 items, which is weird. It's just a weird thing that I've noticed. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this model. Also, when it comes to pricing, when I initially list an item and price it, now that I'm doing this model, I'll automatically price it on the high end of the comp sold. Like, now I'm not trying to price everything perfectly where it should be, because I know I'm going to put it on sale for a minimum of 15% off. I'm just generically pricing every item. Whenever I do a comp sold on it, I'm pricing it at the higher end, because come Thursday, at the very least, it's going to get a minimum of 15% off. So that'll bring it down to probably average for that range, which then boosts the sales. And then when eBay sees that this item was listed 2 days ago and you're putting it on sale, I think the algorithm likes that, boosts you and shows you more. I can tell you this, every single weekend, my views, watches, and interactions goes through the roof, and Monday morning at 5 a.m., it dies right off. So there's definitely something to the algorithm liking this weekend sale metric. I'm not saying for a fact that the algorithm likes that. What I'm saying is that's what I've noticed anecdotally in my store running my tests. So if you guys try this out, if you already do this, let me know what your experiences are down in the comment. If you do try this, throw a comment down below on how it's working out for you, because I'm curious to know, am I the only one seeing this in my store? How this working out? And a big shout out to Thrift Boss. Go over and check his channel out. Watch his video, his updated video he just released yesterday on this, and go back and watch his original video as well, because he deserves all the credit for the inspirational idea of this. I just took his idea and I put my little salt and spin on it, which is something you need to do in this business. Take the good, leave the bad, figure out what works for your store. All right, that was the big thing I had this week. Started the new semester of college. So last semester, I took my first I'm only taking graphic design courses from here on out. I have all my general studies and general education done. And this was the first week of Graphic Design 205 and Graphic Design 285. We're getting into the advanced courses, and it's more in depth. Like, I've always been good at the technical aspect. This is more focusing on now the art side of it and the creative side of it, which I never would claim to be an artist. And this is where I'm learning about the art and why the art is the way it is. It's a lot more challenging, but I like it. I'm having a blast doing it. I think I might get a first B here in this semester in one of these classes. I hope I ace out, but I'm not going to lie. My confidence is not as high as it was in the previous semesters if you've been following this channel for a while. With that said, yeah. Oh, yep. It's time I got to bribe you guys for subscriptions and show you, if we hit 2,000 subscribers, the next gift. And it's not the last gift, it's just the next one I'm going to reveal to you. So the next giveaway gift at the 2,000, last week was a 4x6 thermal label printer. This week, and this is the same one I use, it is the Accutech postal scale with the separate readout monitor. So the readout monitor is not on the scale, it's off to the side. This is the exact same one I use right there on camera. I use every day in my store. I love this scale. It's worked great for me. It's a beautiful scale. I think it maxes out at 110 pounds capacity. This thing will do everything it needs in your business. And if you're new to reselling and you don't have a scale, this thing will change your life. The two biggest things that I think will change your life as far as equipment goes when you're starting reselling is getting a postal scale and getting a thermal printer. Those are the two big things. So those were what I wanted to be gifts to say thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. And I will be giving these away once we hit 2,000 subscribers, which as of time of recording, we are 19 away. So if you are new here and you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button because it helps me out in the algorithm. Now I have to go and plow snow. So I'm going to be late to editing this. I apologize for this video being a little bit later, but I'll throw some footage of me plowing in right here just to show you what Paul plowing 4 inches of snow looks like. But yeah, I hope to get this video out as quick as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching and being part of my little community, and I hope I'm providing you guys some sort of value in your reselling business. I hope you're learning from me, whether it's from my successes or mistakes. I thank you guys so much for being a part of this and being here. Also, Boots and Bandit, you guys need to come say hi, because there are literally people who only come here to see you two. So, from Boots and Bandit, thank you guys so much for watching, because some of the money because some of the money we make goes to buying them food, and they thank you guys so much for watching every episode with us, and they love goofing around in the background for your entertainment. All right? Good? I love you. Love you too, bud. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you guys have a great week to come. And as always, I will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great week, everyone.